Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, Episode 37. I am your host, Dantes, and joining me, the Splatfest King, Caleones. How you doing, Caleones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? Once again, and how you doing, everybody? Again, like we said previously, we're gonna be discussing the Nintendo Direct and what we thought about it. All the games mentioned and all of that. Also, I want to take again the chance to say thank you to all of you. And I even though we said it before, I want to say it again for the matters of the video, so they know that we are very grateful for all of you guys that have supported us, that have subscribed to our channel, and that helped us get to 500 subscribers. But get on this. Go ahead and let's start over. Just go ahead and get it going so we can finally talk about and get to the Nintendo Switch's game, even though we got to go through the 3DS games.
Okay, so I am a little bit not happy right now with my buddies at Nintendo. We got the stream shut down because we were showing video game footage, I guess, of the Direct. And we never had that problem. I don't understand. It's fair use because we're giving our impressions of the Direct. Maybe that's a concept that Nintendo doesn't understand. We were not showing sound, so we were just footage in the background. So as we speak and explain what we thought about the 3DS, or excuse me, the Direct, we were giving an impression. So Nintendo, you need to fix that. You're really missing out on people promoting your content and giving good gospel and good reviews on your content. You're the one missing it. So every company has their shitty practices, I guess you could call it that way, and this is one of yours. So I'm hoping you think about it in the future. I'm still not gonna stop being a fan because I buy your content because of the games, but I also don't shy away with criticizing if I feel you're doing something wrong, and you're doing something wrong in this case. Anyway, with that said, Caleones, quickly a rigmarole. I want to welcome everybody again to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, Episode 37, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also remember, I don't even know today because I've lost my train of thought, but we can. If you don't want to see ugly faces, you can get this podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes for free. Rate us over there so you can show us some love. Also, hey, we do have a Facebook page called at Force In Unison Gaming. Also, for all the new subscribers, go to the description box below where you can see the full channel schedule. Remember, Saturdays, they Get In and Get Out. Mondays, Xenoblade Mondays. Tuesday, Force In Unison Live, where we discuss everything about the video game industry. Wednesday, Streaming Wednesdays, where Caleones and Inkling G plays Platoon with you, the peeps. And, of course, Friday, Toys and More Club presents Minecraft Fridays. With that said, also, go and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones at chiguerosnews.com and switchcore.net. With all that said, are you ready? I said, are you ready? So, for the no one in attendance and the 8 people watching around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's Hot Topics of the week.
My body is ready.
My body's ready. And Caleones, we only have one hot topic, but it's sizzling hot. So what is that hot topic?
Well, I mean, we actually got two hot topics because of another one that I told you about that I think is worth mentioning. We gotta mention it here. But the first one, of course, is gonna be the Nintendo Direct. I want to apologize to the people. We're going to talk about the 3DS games again. We might not seem as motivated as we were before because we got to go through this same process again thanks to Nintendo shutting down the stream. But as far as the Nintendo Direct, they went ahead and talked about quickly in a matter of probably 4 minutes. They just brushed aside the Nintendo 3DS games that they were going to release in between this year and next, and then they jumped over to the Nintendo Switch games. So the first Nintendo 3DS game that they announced was the Dylan's Dead Head Breakers. That one, actually it was WarioWare Gold. WarioWare Gold is going to feature 300 micro games, and it's going to be releasing this August 3rd. Then after that one, they showed Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers. Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers is going to be having a demo out on May 10th, and then the full game is going to come out on May 24th. Then you have the Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story, which this one is going to feature that one. Plus, it's going to have a side story as well, featuring Bowser Jr. The game is not coming out this year. It's going to be out in 2019. Then after this one, they showed again Detective Pikachu, which is a game that has been out for about a year and a half in Japan, but it's going to be coming out this year on March 23rd. And from the first games mentioned, which there was another one that they talked about later, but we'll go ahead and cover that one later on. It was Luigi's Mansion, the 3DS port. So this is a port of the game, the Luigi's Mansion game that came out originally in the GameCube. Why it wasn't ported to the Nintendo Switch, I don't know, but they decided to move it over to the 3DS. Maybe so your 3DS owners, which there's over 60 million of them out there, they can still feel like they're getting support for the system. But I feel like it's time to move on. Either way, those were the first games mentioned. So Dantes, what were your thoughts? Even though you already did mention it before.
And I also did that again last time. Anyway.
Hey, just keeping it the same.
Deja vu. Anyway. Okay, let's do this. So, I think the 3DS had a good showing in the Direct. I think Nintendo showed good support. But, like everybody keeps asking, why does Nintendo keep doing this to us? Just kill it. Pull the plug on the 3DS, Nintendo. All those games should be coming to the Switch. I mean, Luigi's Mansion should be on the Switch. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, in this case is Bowser's Inside Story, should be coming to the Switch. I love those RPGs, Caleones. And I did play Superstar Saga, Partners in Time, and Dream Catchers, or whatever it was called. Those 3 games. I did not play Bowser Inside Story, so, this could be an opportunity for me to play it on the 3DS. But should have been a game that should have been on the Switch. Now, the big one here for me, Caleones, is, like I spoke before, is Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion, I love this game. I love the original, and I love the sequel. I love even the sequel even more on the 3DS. So I'm excited to replay this game in 3D. But at the same time, again, another game that should have been on the Switch with better graphics. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks that it's on the 3DS. But again, Nintendo, it also shows that Nintendo knows that this is the end of the life cycle for the Switch, because all these games are either remakes or ports. The only, I guess, original game you could say, right, Caleones, would be Detective Pikachu. That could be the last hurrah for the 3DS, basically. And then maybe it's just going to get games that are coming on the Switch that they just do a port version of the 3DS version and just put it. Like a couple of games that we're going to talk about on the Switch when we go into the Switch portion of the Night Direct. Some of those games are coming to the 3DS also at the same time. So, hey, that's pretty cool. Nintendo's trying to keep it alive. My only concern, Caleones, now I was thinking about it after the stream got shut down, was that Luigi's Mansion, they didn't put a date. So I'm concerned that they're just going to promote this Luigi's Mansion this year, and we won't see a new Luigi's Mansion or Luigi's Mansion 3 until next year, right? I may be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. But I'm just saying that since they didn't put a date on this game, that they could be releasing this game later in the year, and they don't want to put 2 Luigi's Mansions in the same year. So then I could foresee the other Luigi's Mansion coming maybe next year. Hopefully I'm wrong. Any thoughts yourself, Caleones, on the 3DS portion of the Direct?
Well, we remember last year. Last year we had the Pikmin game come out on the 3DS when we were expecting a new Pikmin game to be made for the Switch. They still said that the game is out there. It's close to being finished, but we haven't seen anything from it, or at least any suggestions that the game could be coming out this year or at all. So same thing's happening with the Luigi's Mansion 3DS port, and the same way the Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Those are games that I feel should be on the Nintendo Switch, but they're being kept over on the 3DS instead of moving it over. Why Nintendo's continuing to support it? We feel like the 3DS should have sent its last games last year, or the earlier part of this year, and then just concentrate fully on the Switch. But like I said, there's over 60 million Nintendo 3DS owners out there, and they still want to have support for the game. So those are games that are still gonna sell. I'm not sure if they would sell as good as they would on the Switch, but for 3DS owners, I'm glad that you're still receiving content and receiving support like that.
Yep. Yep. Again, I just want them to pull the plug. So why Nintendo just don't pull the plug? But again, this is good for the Switch, 3DS owners. They haven't upgraded to the Switch, but man, you should be upgrading to the Switch already. Some good games on that system. So, but anyway, we can't think about ourselves, Caleones. We have to think about everybody. So everybody's a Nintendo fan, and if you're a 3DS owner, Nintendo is saying, don't cry for me, Argentina. We'll keep bringing some good games for you guys. But anyway, Caleones, with that said, I think let's move to the exciting part of the Direct.
And I posted the question on the chat asking about their favorite games from the Direct. There's a couple of mentions on here talking about the expansion, talking about new reveals. We'll go ahead and go back to those comments while we cover them. But the first game that they showed was the Kirby Star Allies. They basically mentioned that if you have the amiibos, it does support amiibos and characters like King Dedede, Meta Knight, Bandana Waddle Dee. You can actually play with those and have those as your friends. And in the future, they're going to feature additional DLC for free, where characters like Rick, Kind, Koo, Marks, and Gooey can be part of your team as well. So just the game is, I think it came out yesterday. It released yesterday, if I remember correctly. So for the people out there that got the game, hopefully you're enjoying it. If you haven't, there's a demo out on the Nintendo Switch eShop, so you can go ahead and try it out. But it's going to be one of those games that Nintendo will continue to support. So, what are your thoughts about Kirby on this one?
I'm not going to say much about Kirby, since I don't like Kirby. But, man, everybody out there who loves Kirby, this is good news. It seems interesting. It seems that it's going to be cool being able to play some of Kirby's villains in the history of the game, right? So I think it's for Kirby fans. Hey, a lot to be excited for.
Well, I want to clarify something. It's not this Friday. It's actually next Friday. The Kirby is going to be coming out. So March 16th will be the release date for the game. So if you got some of those amiibo figures, you can start using them there. But they will have additional characters later on. Moving on to the next game after Kirby, and this one was Okami HD. So as far as Okami, it's basically been in a lot of consoles, especially when it comes to the PlayStation or Nintendo as well. But it's like one of those games where they announced it, the HD version for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I'm glad that it's coming over to the Switch. I myself have never played Okami before, even though it does play like a Zelda. So for people that like Zelda games, it does play like it. I'm not talking about Breath of the Wild. I'm talking about like the Ocarina of Time or those original games. But Okami HD will have a release date this summer. They didn't specify, but aside from the game being in HD, it's also going to support either touchscreen or motion controls with the Joy-Cons.
Yep, I'm in the same boat, Caleones. I haven't played the original Okami, but this game has been released in everything. I think the only thing it hasn't released is on mobile. But aside from that, it has released everywhere. So, I mean, at some point, you're going to have to play the game because just the game is not going to let you. It's like a nightmare. The monster is going to catch you, and just before he's going to eat you, you wake up. So this is kind of Okami. It's just going to be running after you until you play the damn game. And I told Caleones that I'm going to do that. I'm going to be hopefully covering this game for this channel since it's a Switch game. So I have decided to play it. They say it's a Zelda game, type of Zelda game. So I should have played that game a long time ago if that's the case. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's fine. Again, this game is ported everywhere. It's not like something to get excited. But if you haven't played it like me or Caleones, I think this is a good chance to play it.
Okay, before we move on to the next game, we have Evans Calix has a comment on there. They're saying that my neighbor next door that I haven't talked to in like a year is still waiting for the Nintendo NX. I don't know what to tell him. So
tell him to keep waiting.
Tell him to keep waiting.
Yeah, tell him to keep waiting.
Tell him to keep waiting, but in the meantime, just to buy a Switch. So you can help him in between the NX release and the Wii U. Yeah. But next one that they showed was the Octopath Traveler. So I guess the one of the main reveals about this is that aside from having two new characters, and also being able to have two jobs, for each character that you can use, that the project Octopath Traveler did become Octopath Traveler, so that's going to be the final game. So Octopath Traveler is the final game, even though it was a tentative title when they first announced it. So they have finally as well told us our release date, which is going to be on July 13th. It's a lot closer than I thought it would be. The game looks exceptional, and I hope, and I've said it before many times, I hope that this type of engine, Square Enix, goes back and they make games like the Chrono Triggers, Final Fantasy VI, Xenogears, that they go back and remaster those games using this type of engine.
So, Caleones, you're gonna get the collector's edition, right? So
I want that collector's edition.
So in my case, I won't because I said I'm gonna stop doing it unless it's like Xenoblade. But you got that in the background already full of Final Fantasy, Zelda, and Xenoblade collector's editions already over there. So I'm not planning to buy the collector's edition, but I am excited about this game. This is gonna be a good RPG, old school RPG, and I have a little bit of that bug, Caleones, to play old school RPGs. I mean, I've been playing I Am Setsuna, I've been enjoying it, so I'm like, hey, what the hell? Let's give this game a shot. Let's go old school, baby. Hopefully they won't have random encounters because that's something I do not like about the original RPGs. But it looks good. I think the graphics looks great. I think what it feels like this game is going to be like short stories, Caleones. I don't think the game is going to be long because they got so many main characters. And I think the game is going to be great by making you replay the game multiple times but with different characters so you can see their side of their story, right? And then maybe, I don't know if that's how it's going to work, but maybe once you played all the characters and their side of the story, then at the end, they open like a chapter that is, okay, now you play all the characters. This is the final chapter where all the characters meet up and then you beat the game, right? I don't know. I'm guessing, but it seems like this, like how they've been presenting the game and how many multiple characters you have to play. This game is more, I think it's going to be more about replay value and replaying with the main characters. But it looks exciting. I'm going to reserve the game. I'm just waiting to get the check next week because I want to reserve God of War in this game on Best Buy Gamers Club. Get that 20%. So, but I'm excited, Caleones. July is the time for this game to come. And it's a nice time because, there's not a lot of games in the summertime. So if you want to get into an RPG, it could be a good time for that.
Yeah, and moving on to a game that does have different stages, and this is Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. This one is, I believe, is going to have like seven different stages. So basically, the premise of the game is that there's this video game system where he gets sucked into it, and within the system there's 7 different mini games that he has to go through. And at the end of each mini game, there is a boss that he has to fight, against at the end. So he can play by himself, or Travis can partner with Batman for just doing the co-op with 2 separate Joy-Cons or 2 separate controllers. I'm still not sure exactly how the game is going to be presented because yes, it does have the mini games, but they also hinted at a main storyline. So is there going to be a game outside the game, or what exactly is going to happen, or are the mini games going to be basically the entire story of the game? So there's more that we need to find out from this one. I know we're split on this game. I think it looks good. You think you said you thought otherwise, but what are your feelings about Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes?
Let me see. Here it is. Look at that. Right there. So, I'm concerned that it's not going to play like the original No More Heroes, which was more like an open sandbox type of game. and there were bosses in the game. It felt more like a Platinum game, the original No More Heroes. And this game doesn't feel like that, and that's my concern. I thought that we were gonna get like a full-fledged No More Heroes game, but with Travis, striking back, and it just feels like a bunch of mini games. So that's why when I was watching this, I was kind of like disappointed, Caleones. I was like, I'm not impressed at all. So my excitement level after watching the trailer really went down really bad. Maybe it's just because this game is not meant to be a No More Heroes game. It's an experimentation. Suda51 likes to experiment a lot. That could be the case in this case, Caleones, but I don't know. I wasn't excited. I know you mentioned that multiple indie developers are helping develop the game, but I just wanted a No More Heroes game, but with the power of the Switch, get better graphics, and bigger game, more of like an open sandbox, bigger world to explore, which the original was a smaller world to explore. So that's what I was kind of hoping. And then you can have those mini games in between, doing your normal stuff in No More Heroes. But to your point, maybe that's just showing the mini games, and we're gonna see the full-fledged game. I'm hopeful this is a full-fledged game. If it's not, Caleones, I don't think I will be picking up this game.
And after this one, Nintendo went ahead and showed more or showed actual gameplay of Dark Souls Remastered plus Amiibo. So Nintendo finally showed the game and in motion for the Nintendo Switch, and the game looks good. It's pretty much I believe they're using the same game engine as Dark Souls 3. The game looks good. It's one that they're gonna have a network test for before the release of the game. So this is another game, and I'm glad that Nintendo's doing it. That you can actually try and play yourself, to see if you really want to put money into it and get it. But aside from the game, they also announced the Soul Lair of Asotra amiibo, the Praise the Sun amiibo, and it's if you guys haven't heard and you're waiting until our Nintendo Direct and comments to know about this, it's already sold out. So if you want to get the amiibo, you're gonna have to camp outside of GameStop and get it. I wasn't able to reserve it, so I don't know. Like I might turn the hotspot on my phone, take my laptop, and just do some work while waiting outside until the store opens, and I may be able to catch one. I don't know. I might try something like that.
Okay, sure. Whatever tinkles your fancy. About Dark Souls, I've never been into a Dark Souls. I am gonna play Bloodborne this year. That's my goal. So we'll see. I keep hearing from fans that Bloodborne is more arcadey, more faster paced than Dark Souls. Dark Souls is more, strategic. You take your time with your attacks and your moves. So we'll see. Hey, I'm happy for Nintendo fans again. This Direct had a lot of good stuff for you. If you're an only Nintendo Switch owner, you don't own other systems, I think these are good games to have on the Switch. And again, it's showing that third party, little by little, is expanding their support. And about the Amiibo, I don't know why it's so hot ticket. I mean, there's a lot of Dark Souls fans out there, so I imagine they're trying to get their figurine. But hey, good for Nintendo if they're still selling Amiibos.
Yeah, and it seems like Nintendo is probably the only company that can get away with the Toys to Life type of games if they really wanted to. They still haven't done it. They have plenty of Amiibos to do it, but that's something that they can probably get into later on. But moving on, the next game, and they spent a lot of time talking about this game, but they did say that they were going to be spending a lot of time when they tweeted out the Nintendo Direct saying that Mario Tennis Aces was going to be the featured game because the other releases
too much time for my taste, but yeah.
Well, for your taste, but they warned everybody beforehand, so they knew.
I know. But if people are gonna complain, where's Smash, when they're giving the time for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, why everybody were screaming, where's Smash, when they were doing this game? Anyway, sorry, Cali, let's go ahead.
But as far as the games,
hey, new sub. Thank you. 507. Thank you, whoever subscribed. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, so they announced Peach, Daisy, Boo, Bowser Jr., Donkey Kong, Chain Chomp, Yoshi, Rosalina, Toadette, and Toad have been confirmed as additional characters for the game. Of course, if Dantes ever gets the game, he's going to be playing as Luigi. But they also talked about...
Come on, Caleones.
I don't know, like the game to me looks pretty good. I think I got a like a Mario Kart type vibe from this title. And they showed the game. They described the battle system, which is how you can play tennis, do the different shots, do certain attacks, so you can break the racket from the other player and eliminate him. But also, it seems like they have a pretty good structured online tournament mode on this one. So I don't know. Like I said, I feel a Mario Kart type vibe, and I feel like this game is probably gonna be in between the 2 and 3 million copies sold within the first couple of months. That's my predictions for it.
I don't have much to say. Like, hey, a lot of people like Mario Tennis. It is like a Mario Kart for them. Not for me. It's all good. Enjoy it. The extra characters are going to help, and they're probably going to have some amiibos too for the game. So you know how it is.
But just to give you a little bit more to talk about, it looks like a full game when compared to the Wii U version.
That's fine. It's better. Again, I don't have much to say, kind of. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the good stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, so moving on to the next one, and this is a dual announcement. So it was an announcement for the Nintendo Switch and the 3DS, and it's that Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is going to be making its way to both of the systems. They showed a brief glimpse for the 3DS. It seems like it may support the 3D from the system, but for the Nintendo Switch version, it seems like it's going to be the full game but at the same time, it's going to have additional stages, like New Donk City from Super Mario Odyssey.
So Mario Odyssey stages, yep.
Yep. So they showed that stage on there. They also had an offhand comment about, and you may have seen Captain Toad in Super Mario Odyssey, and then they just continue talking about something else. So it was just like kind of like an out of place kind of comment. I don't know, but I'm glad that the game is making it over. It is one of those games that we were talking about. It seems perfect for the portability, for you to like take it with you, play 1 or 2 stages while you're sitting down, maybe watching TV or going somewhere else. It's just perfect for the system.
Agreed. I am actually buying this game. I am excited for this game. Again, like you were mentioning, this game is perfect for those small sections that you just want to do a quick play, or you're watching TV and you're just killing some time while you wait for an appointment, or you're going shopping. I don't know, whatever. But I'm just saying that this game reminds me of Mario and Rabbids. Mario and Rabbids, I always told Caleones, was perfect portable. I played 90% of that game portable. And that's the reality of it, because it's just, again, it was short bursts. You played a battle, you did some fights, and each battle in Mario and Rabbids would last easily, could last 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So you had a small session. I beat the stage. Cool. I'll save. We'll play it for later. This is perfect also because small stages. You play, you try to find all the stars, finish, you're done, you beat the puzzles, and you can then play for the next day and so forth and so far. So even though I do have Toad Treasure Tracker on the original Wii U, I did not play it that much because it came out in a rough time where there was other stuff that I was, again, more excited to play or taking my time. And again, being the Wii U, it's not like a portable system where you can then turn this game into something that you can play in short bursts. Now being on a Switch, this game is just perfect. And I think this time I'm going to get my teeth sank into it better, and I'm beating this game. Anyway, Caleones, go ahead.
Okay, and going over with the next game, and this is Inkling G's from the Toys and More Club, her favorite game of the show, and it's that Nintendo finally announced Undertale for the Nintendo Switch. As far as this game has been out in other systems, and it's been critically acclaimed. It is one of the best indie games ever made. And Dantes, and you said this is one of those where you're going to play it on the PS4 before it releases for Switch, so you can give your full thoughts about the game. But the Inkling G, she could not be more excited about this one. And if we get it, I'm going to give it a try as well. It seems like a very good indie game.
It's a short game, so I think you could easily play it and Caleones and beat it. I think in like 10 to 20 hours, maybe. I'm not 100% sure how big the game is, but if my memory doesn't fail me, it's like a kind of like a Earthbound type of RPG type of game, but it's smaller in scale. So I thought, okay, this is cool. I'm probably gonna play this before it comes out on the Switch, so that way we can give our impressions of Undertale. But it's been critically acclaimed game. Again, another good game that comes for the Switch for third-party support. Again, if you're a Switch only owner, I think this is a good game to come. Again, another game, short bursts that you could play on the go. RPGs, I always keep saying, are perfect for the Switch. When you have to grind here and there, you can take the Switch with you and do it. So, hey, I'm excited for this. I'm happy for Switch owners. And I will be playing this game too this year, Caleones.
Okay, and I just took a quick look over at howlongtobeat.com. It says for Undertale, so 6.5 hours if you just want to beat the main story, 10.5 hours for the main story plus extras.
Okay.
If you're a completionist, it's going to be 18.5 hours to complete everything on the game. So that's probably going to be you if you're shooting for the platinum trophy.
Yep, that's probably it. But 18 hours doesn't seem that long for an RPG, so I think it's good. Again, it's an acclaimed game. I'm happy it's coming for the Switch.
And another game where there were rumors out there. They kept mentioning it, and it's one of those games that we here at the Force In Unison gaming channel predicted on one of our Get In Get Out Nintendo podcasts back in, I think it was September of last year, that would be coming over to the Switch. And it is the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Yep.
The game, all three of the games are going to be coming in as a trilogy. This release on the PS4, I think it's back in August or September. It enjoyed great sales, and Nintendo Switch will finally be having the title to play on, and it's going to be July 10th. So July 10th, game will be available. I believe that you already got it for the PS4, but you haven't played it yet.
Nope.
So you're going to play the game and give us our thoughts before it releases on the Switch.
Yep. So I have it. The only thing that I would probably say, Caleones, if you buy it before we put our review for the Switch or for our channel, are you planning to buy this game? I guess let me start there.
Well, yes.
Okay. So the only thing I
have to.
Yeah, no, you're fine. The reason I asked is because when I beat it, I want you to run through his paces, make sure that it runs well in the system, performs well, so that way we can give our thoughts on that portion of the area, and I can give the overall impressions of the remake on the PS4, I guess, because I have it on PS4 and I haven't played it yet. I'm planning to play it for sure. It's one of those games that I was saving for this year, so it's a good time. I'm trying to play as many Switch games that I can, even though if I own them on the PlayStation 4, I will try to play them this year so we can give our thoughts there to the peeps. But again, another game. I'm happy for the Switch owners. We knew this game was coming back. It's like, no, this is a no-brainer. Sony was smart in doing a time exclusive. Crash is known for PlayStation. But again, this character is owned by Activision. Activision is gonna maximize profits, so they were smart. They said, "You guys really want Crash? Sony, you want Crash? You pay for it. Let's see how much it sells." And Sony got what they needed. I think they had good sales in the game, so they're really happy. But now Activision is like, now we're gonna maximize the profits, because I think I'm hearing that it's also gonna come for PC and Xbox too. So I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a good game. Happy for the Switch owners, and please play it. Please support it, because that's probably going to give a chance to Crash 4 or whatever they call the next Crash comes out. There's a higher chance that it's going to be a multi-platform game from the start. And then Activision has more confidence in the IP, and that way they for sure make a game. So Nintendo fans, please support it. Again, it's a platformer, and it was a really good platformer back in the day. And I think with the newer graphics, it's going to look really nice in that portable screen.
Yeah, so aside from Toys and Marco making fun of our shirts on the chat, but basically,
hey,
but about the
best in the world says in the back, baby.
But it's as far as the game, aside from the graphics, they also improved the controls, so the game does control better. But I mean, go ahead and for everybody out there, go ahead and pick up the game, buy it, play it, and there's I mean, like Dantes said. They're talking about a new Crash coming out. So if you do, it's going to be either a time exclusive for the PS4 again, and then Switch having it, or it can arrive, from the very first day on the Nintendo Switch and the PS4 as well. Also, they're talking about the possibility of having a Spyro trilogy. So same thing. If Crash Bandicoot enjoys good sales on the Switch, there's a pretty good chance that if Spyro gets made, that it can make its way over. And this is especially for all those the fans of Skylanders, because Activision said that Skylanders is taking a long break. What they mean by a long break, we're not sure, because we've already had Disney Infinity, it died. Skylanders, it's in hiatus. Then we have Lego Dimensions. It seems like it's shortly, like little by little dying off as well. So those Toys to Life games are here no longer, and Activision needs that to appease that fan base. And with games like Crash and the possibility of a Spyro, which is one of the first Skylanders from the original game, they can continue to give games to that crowd. So buy them, and you will continue to get support on here.
Yep.
Moving on to the next one, we had the Little Nightmares Complete Edition, which is going to feature the two separate stories that were added with the DLC. Is going to be all found on the same one. Plus, if you have the Pac-Man Amiibo, you can scan it and receive an exclusive outfit on there as well. And this game will be releasing on May 18th. It looks like a very nice and cool indie game. And Inkling G from the Toys More Club channel, she was mentioning that she's also looking forward to it. It looks like a nice game, so I probably if I can get my hands on it, I'll go ahead and play it as well.
I'll let you cover that one. I'm not interested in that game, but since I'm covering Crash, Undertale, and some of those games, I think that one is perfect for you, Caleones. I'm gonna give it to you.
Well, then we have another one where it's no secret that they were, teasing the game for the Switch since the Nintendo Switch launched last year, and it's finally making its way this April, and that game is, and it was kind of funny the way that they pronounced it on the Direct. They called it the South Park, the Fractured But Whole game. So, not to make the correct accentuation.
They were like making sure, because the kiddies were watching, making sure about the proper pronunciation of the title of the game.
But the newest South Park game will be coming out this April 24. It's gonna have it's gonna be just a regular game. It does have two DLCs that will be available on the same day. There's a third DLC that will be available later this year. I know Dantes is gonna play this game, but he did say that he's gonna wait until all the DLC is out before he gets the game.
Yep, I will be covering this game at some point. I love the original South Park, The Stick of Truth. I platted that game on PlayStation, so I'm hoping that I'm surprised, Caleones, they didn't announce the original to come to the Switch. Hopefully at some point, because the original was remastered too. If you guys didn't know, you can buy it. Or I thought it was a pre-order item, but I think now you can buy it. But
The Stick of Truth.
Yeah, The Stick of Truth. But I'm surprised. I'm saying I'm surprised they haven't announced it yet. Hopefully they will announce it at some point and make it like a pre-order item too for the Switch owners, so they can get the game. But it was a great game. It was funny as hell. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm just going to wait until the DLC is out, because like I was telling Caleones, I'm having a hard time going back to games that just keep putting DLC after the fact. So I'm just going to, for this one, I'm just going to wait until everything comes out.
Well, and just to clarify, for those people that did not hear, South Park, The Fractured But Whole will be coming out on April 24th. But moving on to the next one, and this is it was just a quick mention, just so people know the release date for it. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is going to come out on May 18th. This is just the basically the game that came out on the Wii U with all the DLC collected. So for those of you that missed out on it, you don't have to worry about buying anything additionally. So pretty much like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where you had all the DLC from the Mario Kart 8 game collected. Same thing with Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. You have all of it, and this is going to be May 18th.
Hey, they're making fun of my yellow shirt in the chat. Come on, guys, this is Prime. Come on. I guess there's not much wrestling fans anymore. This shirt used to be for CM Punk, the WWE wrestler. He made the worst looking shirt of all time. and it was because of that intention to be as obnoxious shirt as possible. At that time, he was a heel. That's a wrestling term for being the bad guy. So if you guys don't know, but yes, I still love this shirt. In the back, it says "Best in the world," the best in the world, baby. But anyway, Caleones, Hyrule Warriors. It's good. It's re-releasing. I'm not gonna buy it again. I played it enough. It's not something that I want to go back to. So good to have it on the Switch.
Well, and after this, we actually got to the peanut butter jelly time of the Nintendo Direct.
Peanut butter jelly.
And this is when they revealed, and I think is one of the coolest trailers that Nintendo has done for any game, and is the Splatoon 2 expansion. So first,
wait, before we go that, I'm gonna simmer down. Caleones, the floor is yours because I don't have much to say on this one. So go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, so Toys and More Club, she can help on the chat room, but we had first the Splatoon 2 version 3.0 update. It was mentioned. They said that it was going to be coming later this April. It's going to feature around 100 new pieces of gear. It's going to have 3 new stages, and Rank X is going to come over as well. So for anybody that has leveled all the way up to Rank S plus 9, after you go over to the next one, you'll have the Rank X. Then after they mentioned this, they went with the expansion, and this is what, like, the one that I'm talking about. It is one of the coolest trailers that you can see. The music was excellent, and the reveal that you're gonna be able to play as an Octoling finally after over 3 years since the first game was released, or just about 3 years since the first game was released. That you finally get to play as an Octoling is pretty cool and pretty nice. So the Octo expansion, which is the name of it, is going to be $20. We already purchased Inkling G's expansion, even though the expansion is not going to be out until later. But she does have access to Octoling gear, which she was using today during the Splatfest live stream. She had it on. But the expansion is going to be coming out. It's going to be $19.99. It's going to be you're going to play as Agent 8, which is an Octoling. It's going to have, I think it's 8 test facilities, and it's going to have a total of 80 different single player stages with it as well. And then once you beat all those single player stages, then you'll be able to use your Octoling on the multiplayer portion of Splatoon 2.
Yeah. Hey, good for the peeps. Good for the peeps in the chat. I mean, Splatoon, you have to give it credit. It has given us a lot of subs with the good times that Caleones and Inkly G has with the peeps. So I'm not gonna make fun of it. But this is interesting though, Caleones. Which this means is Nintendo now moving forward for this generation is gonna do expansion passes or expansion packs for the Splatoon 2 game, or are we gonna see Splatoon 3 before the generation is over?
Well, I don't know. Like, okay, well, first I'll give my thoughts about this one. Nintendo, they released Splatoon 2 last year. They have been supporting the game with new gear, new stages, new ranked battles, and they've done all of this for free. So this is the first time that they're going to be charging for something, but it is because, to me, it is justified. I know that everybody would like everything for free, but they've given you more than enough updates and support for the game that this is justified as additional content, as an expansion that you have to pay for. So I have absolutely no problems with this. If this works, then I'm pretty sure we're only going to see Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch. And then probably like a couple of years from now, like maybe like a year, 2 years from now, we're going to get another expansion on the game. I don't think we're going to see a third Splatoon or Splatoon 3 on the Switch. I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think it needs to. And it's the same thing for me as games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. it is kind of hard to see Mario Kart 9 coming out for the Switch. They may continue to support that one, do additional things, but so far they haven't. But I'm pretty sure at some point they're gonna go back to that one and release additional content or paid content for it. But I don't see Splatoon 3. I think this expansion is gonna sell good and it's gonna entice Nintendo to continue making expansions for the games aside from like the Splatfest and normal updates that they have for the game. But we're probably gonna continue this way.
Okay, Caleones, 45 minutes into the podcast, baby. So we're there in the borderline. So let's move it because this is the next part that I really want to talk about. So, Caleones, how did Nintendo close this direct?
Okay, well, if you ask a handful of YouTubers, they ended the direct by saying first, okay, and this is everything we have for now. Wait like a second or two, and then you saw him say, well, there's one more thing. And before he said that, a couple of YouTubers stopped the stream. So they said, okay, so there's nothing else, stopped it, and they missed the part, the reveal at the end. Then you had other YouTubers that were streaming the direct, and you had, okay, so there's one more thing, and then you see the two Inklings running and shooting ink, and they stopped it there because they figured, oh well, we don't want to see any more Splatoon. We wanted to see a big reveal, but it's not happening, so they stopped it. So those people as well missed the reveal from the live stream. But the big reveal was after you had the Inkling boy and the Inkling girl running, and in what it seems, the ones from the original Splatoon on the Wii U, you had everything go dark. You had the Inkling girl turn around, and she looked at this. She had a silhouette on her eye, which was the logo for Super Smash Brothers. So not only was Super Smash Brothers announced, but it seems like Link from Breath of the Wild is going to be the one on that game, and the game will be coming out in 2018. So it was a pretty good way to close the direct.
Woo! Okay, let's talk Smash. Yeah, now it's time to talk Smash. This is the part. This is what probably put the direct for me into the it was okay because it was, for me, it was a meh. But it is Smash. It is, and I believe based on, we already got data going around, Caleones, based on Sakurai's tweets, based on Link's Breath of the Wild character, even Mario. I think they hit him because they were gonna show Cappy on his head. I believe this is a new Smash. This is a new Smash, and the reason I say that, everybody say, "Oh, it's deluxe, it's deluxe." It kind of is in a sense, because I bet you, Caleones, that to make this game fast, they are taking the skeleton that they built on the Wii U version and they're just porting it over to the Switch, but they're making it a new game. I mean, it's no different than what they did with Splatoon 2, and Splatoon 2 is considered a new game. And other people said, oh, this doesn't feel new. But you don't have to make it new. I think with Smash, if you already got the skeleton in there, you just need to improve the gameplay. Change some of the characters. Like Link has so much possibilities now, being Breath of the Wild Link, where you can use the different runs, and you can use stasis, you can use the bombs, you can freeze time. There's a lot of stuff that Link. Oh, and what you said when we were talking, he could also use the power of the heroes too. So you could see him using Revali's Gate or Memphis healing power, something like that. Link could be a beast in this game, and I'm excited because the original characters have grown stale, and I believe that that it's time to change up the gameplay a little bit, and this is your chance, being that there was a lot of kind of like new movesets for our old heroes. Like Mario has new movesets now, Link has new movesets. Even as you see the silhouette, Caleones, Samus looked like he was wearing the Return of Samus suit instead of the normal Samus that we've seen in the last couple of Smash. So I think that you could maybe see some new moves from Samus from Return of Samus, right? So the other piece, go ahead.
Yeah, we probably have Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones dressed up as Samus for the game. So she'll probably be the one sporting
That's
it.
fine.
So I don't know.
That's fine. I don't watch the Game of Thrones, so I didn't follow that reference. But again, it's just exciting because now you can build new stages with the same engine that you use on Wii U. New gameplay elements. Maybe they have a story mode this time, a really good story mode. I think Smash has been lacking a really good story mode. So hopefully this game will give us that. And of course, Caleones, the ask for me is you already haven't built. Leave Shulk in there untouched. Just improve on his moveset. But leave him untouched. And now what I want, Nintendo, you disappointed me today, so you better not disappoint me in this. I want Rex, Mythra, and Pyra in the game. Imagine kind of like Rex being like the Ice Climbers, where you have two characters that you control at the same time. But imagine then Rex changing swords. And then every time he changed swords, because he changed to either Mythra or Pyra, and he uses different power-ups and stuff like that. So this is what I want, Nintendo. And Sakurai is a big fan of Xenoblade, so I expect at least Rex or at least Mythra and Pyra to be in the game, and that excites me. And I'm already looking forward to the reveal trailer. I think we're going to be hyping this up every time there's a reveal trailer. Me and Caleones are going to discuss about it, maybe give it a quick review on this podcast, but I'm looking forward to the hype, and I'm looking forward to seeing Rex and Mythra in the game.
Yeah, and this is something that we already talked about. So if they have either Shulk or Rex on the game, then this is going to be one of those guaranteed games that we're going to play here on our channel. Even if we do it only a handful of times and not every week, but that Dantes is finally going to get his gaming skills, and he's going to be challenging everybody from our subscribers and guests. So this is going to be the game that's going to get him here to play against everybody. And it's going to be, let's just to put it out there, it's going to be Dantes and I against whoever wants to challenge us. So
we're getting our ass kicked because the Smash community is our beasts. I'm just saying. I see those kids playing. I'm like, damn, I'm too old for this shit.
But I mean, like you said, the possibility of having a character like Rex and him, featuring a sword, the sword changing colors depending on which character it is that he's using as her power. So either Mitra or Pyra. So it does have different possibilities for that character. So hopefully they'll be there. You did mention that Sakurai loved the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 game. So hopefully to pay homage to the game, Rex will be there. But there's many characters that they haven't been announced. So they only showed a silhouette of probably like anywhere from 14 to like 16 different Nintendo characters. People are still trying to figure out exactly which those characters were. But what's important is Smash Brothers is coming out this year, and more than likely, even though they haven't showed gameplay, it should be playable at E3. And they're probably, Nintendo's probably even going to do a tournament at E3 for the game. So that's great for everybody. People have been asking it since the Nintendo Switch was announced. Where's Smash? So Smash is finally here.
You can stop asking. So, God damn it.
So yes, rejoice everybody because the game is coming this year.
Yes. What is interesting too, Caleones, is if they drop this bomb now, I'm expecting some good shit at E3. I'm just saying. I mean, it's gonna be good. We'll see. Let me not get hype already. Let me wait. I want to see some Pikmin on E3 and the next Retros games and stuff like that. That's kind of like the hype meter going up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Caleones, we're 54 minutes in, so going quickly to the next piece of news. This is kind of like Nintendo's news burst. I know we took all podcasts with Reggie's hot topics, but we'll switch quickly to Nintendo Onuma's news burst. Caleones, kick it.
And this is it's going to be a short story, but it ties in with Undertale. So Undertale was revealed for the Switch. It's going to be available. And Undertale is made using the Game Maker Studio 2 engine. So the big news is that after the Direct and after the reveal that Undertale was being made for the Switch, is that the Game Maker Studio 2 has been made compatible to the Switch. So the Switch is now supported, and all those indie games that are made using it could make their way to the Switch. Another game that still hasn't been announced or they haven't talked about, but Hyper Light Drifter is one of those indie games that could potentially make its way to the Switch. And I was mentioning that there were a handful of developers, a couple of them, like 2 or 3 developers, that they stated that they were making games for the Xbox and PlayStation 4. But as soon as they saw the announcement from Nintendo about supporting Game Maker Studio, that they said, okay, so what we're going to do instead is put a hold on the development on those. We're going to go ahead and push to have the Switch version out first and release it. And one of the things is because we hear time and time again how indie games are enjoying great sales on the Switch, and it's better to jump in now before the market gets crowded. But yes, that's one of the great announcements because of additional games, additional indie games, and great games that haven't made its way. They finally will be making it over.
Yep, that's good news. More games for the Switch. Caleones, that was a big-ass Reggie's Hot Topic. But it's time to move. So, Caleones, if I wanted to know what are the hottest Nintendo Switch games coming to my favorite store, where should I go?
To the Chigaro's supermarket.
Go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, and for this past week, we have, I believe it's going to be close to 18 games that have released on the Switch. So those games are Scribblenauts Showdown, Nord, Fear Effect Sedna, World Conqueror X, The Trail, Frontier Challenge, The Men of Yoshiwara Okida, Sterudine Binary Stars, Midnight Deluxe, iZombie, Earthlock, Bleed 2, Bit Dungeon Plus, Neo Geo's Real Bound, Fatal Fury, Turtle Pop Journey to Freedom, Spy Chameleon, One-Eyed Cut, Kona, and Flint Hook have been the games released.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know those games. But again, Nintendo's getting a lot of indie games, so that's good news. I need to start looking at that eShop a little bit more in depth. What's your game of the week if you know some of those games, Caleones?
I guess for the games of the week, one that I have played before, and I liked it. It was the Earthlock game. Aside from the Fear Effect set, which is supposed to be a remake of the original Fear Effect, I don't know about that one. So I need to.
I hear that it's really bad though.
Yeah, so I haven't
port.
heard anything about it.
Yeah.
They haven't had that many reviews out there, so I'm just probably gonna check it out. The other one that looks like a pretty good game is the Trail Frontier Challenge, and of course, my son's looking forward to the Scribblenauts Showdown. So he's looking forward to that one. But it's kind of hard to judge. We haven't really had time to go through the games and see which ones should be the one that goes ahead from the pack. So that's probably what we have missing this week.
Okay, that's fine, Caleones. Thank you for giving us the update on our favorite store. But with that said, I think it's time to end at Caleones. Boom. There you go, some Xenoblade. Woo! Anyway, I want to thank everybody who watched us tonight at the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast episode 37 right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also remember, if you don't want to see ugly faces, like Caleones, it's all good. We got a solution for you. Go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. Rate us over there so you can show us some love. Also, go to the description box below because if you're a new subscriber, we got content for every type of gamer. Saturdays, we got this beautiful, beautiful show. Mondays, if you're a Xenoblade fan, Xenoblade Mondays, where we show some tricks and gameplay video. On Tuesday, we do have the Force In Unison Live, where we discuss all the news in the gaming industry. On Wednesday, we have Streaming Wednesdays, where Caleones and Inkling G plays Splatoon with the peeps. On Friday, Toys and More Club Crew play a little bit of Minecraft for your entertainment. Also, we do have a Facebook page called at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to chiguerosnews.com and switchcore.net and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, Caleones, thank you again. Thank you for joining us. Good night and long live Nintendo. See you guys.